Hey, this is Lamont from Casual Hacking, the Casual Hacker. Today we're going to do a deauthorization attack, and we're going to steal the handshake and crack the password at the same time while going over that. So let's make this quick and straight to the point. We're going to do a Airmon NG start WLAN 0. Boom. That started. So here you can see that I'm using the Atheros chipset on my TP-Link TLW-N722N wireless card. And the next command I'm going to do is a aerodump MG WLAN 0 mon, which is going to monitor the traffic of pretty much every access point in this zip code. And what I'm looking for is Netgear, so that's the one we have the lab set up for. It's this access point here. So what you want to do is you want to get that MAC address, the BSS ID of that access point, and you want to take note of the channel. So in the command, we're going to put the BSS ID here and your channel there, so in the aerodump command. And we're going to write all that traffic to the Netgear folder on our desktop. That's where we're going to pull our cap file from when we do our dictionary attack. So in a new window, we want to monitor traffic just going to that access point or to and from. So we paste that and let's run it. So I have a workstation that's set up on that access point that we're going to run a deauthorization against. Alright, so we keep that going so we can monitor our deauthorization and pull our handshake. So here we have the MAC address of the access point, and we have, that's the access point, and then we have the MAC address of the workstation connected to that access point. So now we want to run our deauthentication packets to that access, to that connected device from the access point. And this is where you would kind of do a denial of service to any clients connected to that access point. You may have more clients connected here. They'll pop up down here, and you can run that against those clients and pretty much do a denial of service for anybody on the network. Your kids, your wife, if you want to get off Facebook. Yeah, so we're going to run it against that client that we have set up, and it's going to send the two packets. And since the client is going to want to keep that persistent connection, we should have a handshake popping up soon. Maybe not. Let's check. Okay, so we have to cancel here. Up, channel 7. Let's make sure we are on the right channel for that Netgear. Sometimes the channel changes from the time with the time that's set. Let's see, Netgear channel 5. Okay, so all we have to do is change that to channel 5. And let's, boom. And now we have the client and the workstation. And let's run the air replay, the authentication authentication packets. And as you see, the frames climb up, and boom, we have the handshake. Now we can stop this to save resources, and now we want to can leave that up and clear this window. I like to keep a clean workspace, and we want to get our ear crack command and paste. And this is pretty much the second part to this demonstration, is where we crack the password, which is in the handshake, which is in the PCAP file. And the first part was the deauthentication, where we ran this. We could have ran this with 2,000 packets and nobody would have got on for a while. So we go to the Netgear folder, and I have a bunch of cops, and we're going to just take the recent one, which is the one we're going to try to crack. So I have the BSS ID of the access point, our dictionary file, which I downloaded from crackstation.net. It was the 600 meg file. It's the smaller file of the two. There's a 2 gig file, which has a lot of passwords. It probably has everybody's password, your grandma's password, your mama's, your baby mama's. Okay, so we're going to run that against our cap file. And you just want to run this against your access points passwords to just test out their vulnerabilities and see if it's a weak password or not. It's a good way to make sure your password's not out there floating around on the internet also. Alright, we let that run. And I'll also leave these instructions down in the description with links to the CrackStation's dictionary files and the TP-Link wireless card. It costs about 20 bucks. And it's going. It's at 14%, 15. Close this out. It depends on how fast your workstation is. This one's pretty decent. I have I think about 16 gigs of RAM. So it's decent, pretty new. I know you can run Hashcat outside of the VM, outside of Kali on your host, not on your actual workstation, which will give you more processor speed too. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to keep it here inside of Kali Linux using air crack. I'll do a video later on the Hashcat process, which is pretty much similar, a lot faster. And let's see. Boom. So almost 2 minutes we have the password. So this is the password to our access point, which is really weak. I don't think anybody would, well, I hope anybody wouldn't have this as their password. I've cracked more complex ones that have taken about an hour, 2 hours. With authorization from my neighbors. And that's about it. So leave any comments, any questions down in the comment field. I'll make sure I put those links up. And all right, it's been fun. Out.